I had a question.
What's up?
All right, so I had a conversation this weekend, and got kind of slightly heated, but not really. It didn't get heated, but it was a very interesting conversation. So, someone asked me if I would do a. So someone sent me a video. A friend of mine sent me a video, and it said, it was a video of a guy giving a woman, his wife, a gift, and she was in the kitchen washing dishes.
Oh, I seen that video
seen
before.
that video,
Yeah,
right?
I already know what you're talking about.
Woof! So
You just saw that?
no,
That's
I feel like I saw it in the past.
Nah,
It
nah,
looks
that's an
familiar.
old video.
It is, right? Okay. So he gives his wife a gift. She opens like 6 bags. Honey, is this the chain I wanted? All that. So she's opening the bag, and then inside of it is a folded up piece of paper. And when she opens it up, it's.
She was wondering if it was a flight.
She thought it was two things. She thought first she thought it was a chain that she always wanted. Apparently he was going to gift her, and the second thing was a flight. Then when she opened up the folder, it was a folder, and she opened up, read the paper. It was a paternity test saying that his 3-year-old daughter is not his. And she just sat there like, first of all, her first thing was, why would you do that? Like, why would you? I'm like, what? Bitch, why would you do that? What are you talking about? Why would I do that? So apparently they were together. She cheated. And
That's when you don't know what to say.
bro, like, no, she was just, that was yo.
She was caught off guard. OG.
You ever been woken up out your sleep in the midst of a lie? You ever been, I've been woken up to a lie.
At that point, I'm not lying, man.
Nah, that Mr. Krabs meme. Well, the thing is, you know what it is about that when you get woken up, at least getting woken up to a lie? The thing about it is, you're so distraught.
Yeah.
You don't know, because you don't want to tell too much truth and then fuck yourself up worse than if you had. So it's like, what do you know and what can I not tell you? How do I maneuver this shit to get the least amount of lie out? You know what I mean? Without getting myself in more trouble. So that's what she did. She pulled one of those, you shouldn't have done this. I'm like, you ain't saying shit, bitch. And then he goes, all right, you and her got a month to get out. And she's like, but she loves you. She loves you. And this is why I hate emotions. And this is why I hate words like love. Not hate. I'm sorry. That's a strong word. I dislike words like love, not because I don't actually like love. It's just used for the worst stuff. It's like when
people manipulate
the word like she loves you. Like that was supposed to make me go, all right, you can stay. What do you mean yes, she loves me. But I've been raising a kid that's not mine. What are you talking about?
You've known this the whole time.
The whole time. Nigga, you need to go find her dad. Like
he needs to love her.
Like he needs to love her. She need a dad's love. Like, so I saw this video, and then the person sent to me was like, "What would you like? How do you feel about this?" I was like, "Well, 1, damn, and 2, I felt he was a sucker, and I felt he was a sucker because I would have taken a paternity test. I'm taking a paternity test, in my opinion." I'm taking a paternity test with any woman I ever have a baby with. Ever. Wife or not.
God damn.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, with the paternity test, you don't have to take it with everybody. But if you do feel like there is reason to, that man felt like there was reason to. Either he's hearing something, he's looking at that kid.
I'm about to say, she turned 3. Yeah, and her nose kept getting bigger.
He's looking at that kid saying like, yo, this kid look like Stanley or some shit like that. Somebody else, like, this kid don't look like me.
Why is that?
With reason. With, but I'm also not I think they should kind of make that a mandatory thing. I'm not gonna lie, like, yo.
Well, this is the thing.
Kill 2 birds with one stone. Everybody knows the truth. Hey,
my mindset was it's not personal. Yeah. It's not like I don't think my wife is cheating. It's not personal. I don't want my wife or whoever you may be in the future, I don't want my wife to think she's a liar. It's just every nigga on Maury that ever read that card and found out it wasn't his probably said that same shit. Yeah. Like it always goes down.
I think a lot of them probably knew there was a little.
Maybe. Man, I mean, I'm sure when you got on Maury, you realized something's up. But I think that there were genuinely men that were surprised by this. Yeah. And I'm saying, like, if that happens, like, as long as there's a chance it can happen, I'm taking
I've had this conversation with a girl before, and like all I got was bad feelings, and I was not even listened to about my opinion. I'm like, yo, nothing is like, this is not a personal thing. If somebody feels like they need to do it, let them do that. Like,
Well-
you're going to let this man live in that the whole time, feeling
That
like
ambiguity,
questioning
right?
it. Yeah, like, questioning, that is not fair.
Well, you gotta
There
think-
is a way to come to an answer.
Fair.
There's an actual way to come to an answer with this. And if there's no beef about it, let him.
Well, this is my thing. Science has done so much fucked up shit over the years. They've created atom bombs. They've created viruses. They've created COVID. They've created all types of things that are terrible.
Allegedly. Don't just say that.
I mean, listen, a bad fucked up pig, whatever. They created all these things, right? Science has created terrible, terrible, terrible things. Gases that murder people. And every once in a while, they get something right that is good for humanity. One of them is fucking paternity tests. And you're telling me I should not utilize this?
Yeah.
I went as far as to say, if I could take a drop of blood and put it in a machine and test if you're stealing money from me, I'd fucking do it.
Yeah. But that video, though, 2 seconds already, I'm like, bruh, this woman with you for all the wrong reasons, son. Everything she wanted was mad financial. Everything was mad financial.
Yeah, she
like,
said, I hope this is the necklace I
I'm just
want.
like, sheesh.
Well, my thing was, I read into his voice, and I was like, he sound like a sucker. I'm sorry. He sound like the type, he looked, like, first of all, she was pretty. I don't want to say really pretty. I'm not going to drag it, but she was pretty. And my thing is, I feel like pretty women get this leeway because they're pretty, and we all know this.
I mean,
the same way rich men get
dudes
leeway.
be suckers for pretty.
Exactly. But it's like that. Those are the ones that, like, when I saw her and I heard his voice, I was like, I could see how you got caught up
I'm
here.
just like, I want to see who this camera is. Like, who
Yo,
the person's
spin
holding
that
this
camera around.
Word, man. I'm like, I want to see this dude that's holding this camera.
Let me see Urkel for who he is.
The way she was sounding like he got some money.
Right.
And she was there to spend it.
Exactly.
That's all
That's
I
what
got
it
from
seemed
that
like.
whole interaction. And with that being said, he has a right to test his kid to see if this woman wasn't with him for all the right reasons.
Well,
I'm sure she wasn't with him when he was at the bottom, struggling, trying to make 2 cents.
Right? Exactly. Right. Well, first of all, we are.
This is all assumption,
I'm
by
about
the
to
way.
say, this is all
but I'm saying what I got from that video.
Right?
That's all I'm saying, what I got from that video.
For me, I saw, but I just heard his voice, and I was just like, if Poindexter don't put down his pocket protector, he sounded kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm just being judgy. Maybe I'm judging it like that because, to be real, at this age, most things that I've dated enough that most things that women do, like, there's enough signs to see that it's possible. Like, if a girl, let's say, were to cheat on me, most of the time, I'm not sure you would have, but I could tell you're the type.
Yeah,
like, I could tell, like, you kind of, you're a little fast.
She did not guess not one sentimental gift.
Yep.
She did not guess not one sentimental gift.
Is this the card I wanted?
Son, I was like, yo.
Are these the flowers I was looking for? Nope.
Yo.
Is this the chain?
I've
Bermuda?
I've had people be mad at me over a card. Like, I appreciate that.
Nah,
Okay?
yeah. That means you really care about my
like,
thought
shit,
process
like,
and not just.
I didn't get the card. I did forget the card. Like, fuck it. Like, I'm wrong.
He's like, yo, right? It's like you get. I've actually had that happen, and I was like, wow, you really care about the thoughts and shit. But my thing, go ahead.
And as much as people would hate that, that's where you would know, like, this person actually kind of really fucks with me. If they just want the fucking Lamborghini keys,
right,
and the fucking mansion, that's all they want.
And that's the thing that I saw a rapper talking about it, about like the RE getting the Lambo truck and all that. And I remember being like, that's a flex. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna deny a flex when I see one. But I remember thinking, this is setting a terrible precedent.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, how long they been together? 6 months? Maybe a year? That's not Lambo numbers.
The fucking contractual relationship they got
That's
over.
not Lambo numbers. And then when he was screaming in his ears, sweating all down the side of her face on his birthday.
That picture.
That man looking like a glazed pig. I was sitting here like, looked like they threw a ham in a barbershop. Just mad hair and sweat and just all that. And I'm sitting here like, and the whole time she looked genuinely disgusted. Mm-hmm. Now, that concept of like, oh, I'm going to buy you something, it's making everyone think like, oh, I got to level up. I got to do better. And it's like, we're purchasing things. And the thing about purchasing women is that possessions can't love you back.
Nah.
That's how I genuinely feel. Mm-hmm. if I ever get to a point where I'm a bachelor for too long and I'm just like, yo, I'm over this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm buying me's a bitch.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm not gonna expect her to love me.
Don't be shocked when the kid not yours.
Yo, listen, brother. You know what? I took care of him for as long as you was pretty. Go ahead and head out.
It's a very weird place because as a man, you should, I believe, you should aspire to be a traditional man.
Yes.
You know, you should aspire to be a provider. You should aspire to be a protector. But do not aspire to be nobody's meal ticket.
No.
Hell
that's a bad aspiration.
Hell no.
That shit goes left every time. And you know what's crazy? I always think of doing things like this. There is nothing, I'm never going to do anything that if things go left and we don't work out, I'm going to get mad I did this thing.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I always keep in mind, like, I know that whether we work out or not, whether you reciprocate or not, whether you love me back or not, I'm good with knowing this is the man I want to be and this is the type of thing I want to do for my woman.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm good with this. Dudes be going above and beyond because I don't care if you're hideous. I don't care if you're gorgeous. Dudes be going above and beyond for these gorgeous chicks and they get mad when it doesn't get reciprocated because of the fact that they did so much just to bag them a bad one. And then be mad in the end. And my thing is,
he gonna fly her out
up top
her
here,
friend.
looks like this, whatever you want to call it, flying out a friend, paying for dinner. I've had very attractive chicks. I've shown up to like brunch or dinner, and I see a friend there, and I don't see another nigga. So I sit there, I'm like, so, hi, who's your friend? Hello, nice to meet you. Blah, blah. I'm like, you guys doing your? Oh nah, she just chilling, whatever. She just, we were out shopping, so she came with me. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I don't see no bags. Cool.
See, hold up. Say you out and you're like at a happy hour at like or something. You pay for like a girl and her friend. I don't have no problem with that. If we're going shopping, you're not getting that. I'm sorry. Your friend not getting that.
No,
your friend not getting flew out nowhere.
No flew out.
Nah. That's food and shit like that. Who cares? Like you could flex with that. You could do that.
But my problem is this. This is my personal issue. Don't spring that shit on me.
Oh, hell
because
no.
then I feel like it's...
no. This is an offer game.
Exactly. My problem with it is then I feel like I've been got.
Hell no.
The point is I want to make the decision to pay for this.
I don't look. The check don't come and everybody start looking at me. I'm starting looking back.
No, I've had that happen where Obi did the Kermit.
Kermit the front. Like, what's going on?
Obi Kermit in this bitch. No, I'm one of those people that I'm going to look at both parties. I'm going to pay for the woman I asked to come here. And your friend going to have to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
And I had that situation occur before.
And don't just bring your friend in, by the way.
And that was the thing. I was looked at as cheap. And I remember going, you really think you're that pretty?
No, nah.
There's no woman made that pretty for me. Nah, Bernice Burgos, I'd pay for any friend she brought.
But that is a privilege.
Yes.
That's something that's extra.
Yes.
Doesn't just come automatically.
Exactly. But there's another side to this situation with the paternity test.
We out here giving broke boy talk.
Yo, no, it's not broke boy talk. It's real man talk. Like dudes be doing stuff.
You know they're not gonna agree with none of this.
You brokies. The brokies are in. Yes, this is the broke podcast. No, nigga, we not broke. We just smart. We thinking things through. Nah. But there's another side to this. We can speak about the money side of it and the aspect of the fact that she was there for money, but we didn't speak about the trust side. Mm-hmm. Because to me, it's like the person I was talking to was telling me that, so you don't trust your wife? I'm like, no, I don't trust nobody. Mm-hmm. It's not about my wife. Mm-hmm. It's about all the things I've seen. I have secondary PTSD where I've seen dudes go through things that I'm like, ooh. God damn. Or even when I remember watching when I was younger, there was a show called Nip Tuck on FX. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was two doctors that were best friends. They were surgeons in Miami, the best, blah, blah, blah. And at some point in like season 3, they find out there's one guy that's like a playboy and one guy that's like a family man. The family man finds out his son is the playboys because the wife once had sex with him. And that baby happened, and because he was growing up, I was like, this dude looking kind of swaggy, and your dad is late. Yeah. This don't add up. You know what I mean? And then I saw that, and I remember going, oh my God, like that level of hurt, that episode when he found out, and the whole movie Unfaithful pissed me off to no end. That's my misogyny speaking. I'm dead ass. I watch these movies and I'll be like,
oh hell no, that ain't gonna be me.
Son, I used to have damn, I don't know if I should tell this story. All right, fuck it, I'm gonna tell it. My I don't know if I should tell it. A girl I know.
Here we go.
Used to have me drop her off. I'm not gonna say nothing. Drop her off at we had messed before, and we weren't messing at that time. But she would have me drop her off at her budman's house to, like, you know, get weed. And then normally I'd be like, "Are you leaving?" But she would be like, "Yo, I'm staying here," because it worked out that I would be going and driving in a direction. I had a car at the time. I was driving in a direction to go drop her off, and I remember one time I saw a weird transaction between the two of them where I was like, this is never happening again.
Something weird just happened.
Something weird just happened. And you know what I felt like? I'm a sucker. Because you know what I felt? I've had a girl get her homeboy to drop her off, her date, to drop her off in my house under the pretenses that I'm the cousin. Apparently, we was kissing cousins. I've had this happen before.
So that tainted you.
That secondary PTSD. Because I've been slimed, I can't get slimed.
You out here trying to dodge your
So
karma?
she hit me up. It was just like, yo, I'm about to head that way. You headed that way? I said, yes, I am.
Reggie peeled off.
I was like, nope. I was just like, but find somebody else to get there, to get you there. She was like, what? Why are you acting that way? I was like, I don't know, son. I don't know. Come to find out, she fucked that nigga.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was fucking him when I was dropping her off, but I don't ever want to be the dude. I'm sure at some point I was and whatever, but within reason. Anything I can actually control, I'm going to control it. Yeah. Because that situation, I was just sitting there like, I'm sure he's a low-life bud man. Like, he ain't even really like, no up, nigga. You're not doing. And he over there probably with his man's like, she got an ex nigga dropping it off to me. You know me?
I believe a paternity test is, if somebody wants it, I don't think you should deny them that. That is, you're gonna let that person live there and just kind of sit in their doubt and sorrow. That's kind of torture.
I mean, I'm gonna do it in secret anyway.
That is torture. But I'm saying, like, if it's like you could actually hold me back from doing it, like.
Well, it's not doubt and sorrow. I'm not actually hurting. I may genuinely trust you with my life. If I got a test I could take, I'm gonna take it. Like, I'm just gonna fucking take
like,
it.
Yo, this dude look just like me, but
yo,
you never know.
That baby could come out with blonde and brown dreads, okay, and a beard, and I would still test it. Y'all don't get it. It's not personal. It's humans. I don't trust people. So when that situation occurred, like when I was talking about it, I thought about another thing. So does that premise, that same mindset, work for like checking through phones? Because by a woman's, the same thing that drives me to want to go take that paternity test every time would be the same concept that's driving women to look through my phone to find out if I'm doing anything, right?
No.
If there's
one is a lifetime bill. And
okay.
One is my personal bill. Like,
okay.
There's two different things. That's what we talking about here.
This nigga Obi stuck on the buddies. Obi said, wait a minute.
What are we talking about here?
No, what I meant is in the sense of there is something that can confirm, for the most part, what's happening. And you don't know what's happening. Not to say you know or you don't know, but not to say you think he's cheating, but you know, whatever. She may think he is, or maybe she doesn't, and she just checks all her niggas' phones.
Yeah.
Do you think that I should, am I being hypocritical saying I'm always going to take a paternity test if a girl says she's always going to check my phone and I get mad?
Kinda.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's a bit hypocritical.
It's a little bit, right?
It's a bit hypocritical.
You're right. It is.
That's why I'm not like, oh, you got to, doubt has to be in my, if there's no doubt that I'm good with being that fool or anything, I'm totally fine with that. Ignorance is bliss on my end. Blissful. I love a blissful life.
Remember what I told you. I never do anything that in the end, if it doesn't work out for me, I'm going to be upset I didn't do this. I did this thing.
Oh,
and a whole human is one of them. Because it's also the emotional, because now going forward, what I'm going to do to women forward.
Do you think that there are people who like dead raising kids that they don't even suspect? I usually feel like you would kind of know.
As much as I want to say that that's true, I also know people that didn't know they were pregnant, and then a week later they have babies. I've heard of a personal story that happened. Like I was pregnant, I didn't know.
Bro,
my thing is,
talk about a miracle. That's what you're talking about. Like, what?
But there was a whole show with like 3 seasons on it. It can't be that much of a miracle. It happened often enough. Yes,
every
you didn't never seen that show. I was pregnant and I never knew.
Nah,
that's a real show on TLC. It had like 3 seasons. Apparently, this is a thing. Some woman had a baby in a bathroom. Didn't know she was pregnant or thought she had a tummy ache.
Damn.
So it's like,
she was not.
If you could not know a human is inside of you, you could. I guess you could get that wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe you look like the other dude. Maybe she got a type.
I don't know.
Maybe she got a type.
You would do that like statistics.
No. More than like, okay.
What are the statistics?
Okay. More than likely, you will know. There will be some. That's why I said he was a sucker. Yeah. Because something should have triggered you as to see this.
Something told him to do all that, you know.
Something. So my thing is, if you were just blinded by the beauty, and then once that it wore, and that's what a lot of guys go through. Once the beauty part wears down, and now you dealing with the routine, now you start seeing shit, and now you can't take it.
And that's why you shouldn't buy nobody. Because at some point, all of that is going to fade away.
All possessions get tiring.
It's going to fade away. Like, you're going to be like, yo, she's the same old boring woman I look at like, every single day. And she don't even give a damn about me.
Yo, show me a guy with a beautiful woman. I'll show you a dude
that's
looking
tired of fucking her. Like, that's just how it goes, man.
It is what it is. So my thing was, I was looking at it, and I was just like, the way I see the paternity test thing is kind of like if you know, like people that work out like all the time, right? Bodybuilders, stuff like that. Whenever if you ask a serious bodybuilder.
By the way, those two things are very toxic traits.
What?
You needing to, your wife, I have to paternity test, and I need to look through all of my men's phones.
Oh, no.
Usually
those
very
are
toxic.
Those are toxic traits. I'm gonna keep that level of toxicity. I don't know. I thought after
just be aware that
after this conversation, though, I did think about it because I'm like, by that same premise, a woman that looks through my phone, and that's when I started going, maybe I should change my mind on this. I really thought it through. I still haven't changed my mind. Oh, y'all bitches getting paternity tests, but I'm
all of y'all.
All y'all bitches. I told you, I got a basketball team coming soon.
All of y'all.
Starting 5, the Kaya Meets.
My man trying to be what's the name of that rapper? Did he die?
No, Future's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
He's still alive and kicking.
Future ain't have a reality show yet, though.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Don't worry. His career is dwindling. But, yeah, I just thought of it like when you meet bodybuilders, they always say, like, when you're doing certain back workouts, I never do free weight back because it's too much of that muscle is too important. Yeah. Your back going out. If you throw your back out, you probably might never work out again. Yeah. You can't do mad things. Fucking up your legs.
Mad shit.
Mad shit goes left when your back goes left. And then you almost never heal from it completely, most back injuries.
It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while if you do. And my thing was, a lot of bodybuilders be like, yo, deadlifts at a certain weight aren't necessary. Unless you're in a competition, unless you fight for a living, unless you're like a cop and you gotta be strong, there's no reason to be that level of strong unless you're utilizing it every day because the risk is too high, and because it's not worth it. And that's what I think of when I think of the paternity test. It's like it's not worth it for me not to take this test because no matter what small chance it's never gonna be, or I'm the most trustworthy.
So you married?
I'm married.
I have 6 kids. All 6 of them getting paternity tests.
All it takes is one night. That's what you don't get. All it takes is one night.
Yo, that's hilarious.
One more night. That's all it takes.
You're like, yo, next test.
And my thing is, so then the person asked me, like, so what would you tell your wife? I was like, I mean, if she gets mad about it, nothing. I'm just going to do it, and then we'll live. I mean, to me, she was like, would you do it in the hospital? Because, you know, when you're not married, they ask you if you want a paternity test. But if you are married, they don't ask you, but you can, but they don't ask you. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm like, no, I'm being a man. I'm not going to do it in front of her, embarrass her like that. I'm going to go to a spot 6 months from now when the immune system is better and they're ready. They could go outside without getting hurt so much. I'm going to go take it and prick it or swab it and then go do what I got to do. That's how I see things. But again, it's not personal. Like, any woman that ever, it's not personal. It's not like I don't trust you. It's people. Like, it's so easy to do bad, and my thing is, at any given moment, anyone can just have. I've seen people that's like normally they'll do right, and just in that moment for some reason it didn't. And it's not that you're not a bad human, you're just a flawed one like everyone else.
Yeah.
Except now I got to deal with this shit for 18 years. So no, I'm not chancing that on humans that are all flawed.
Yeah.
I think it's too big a risk. And like I said, it's like vaccinations. Again, another thing that science finally got one fucking thing right, and people are gonna tell me they're not gonna go take it. There's so many things it does terrible, and you're not gonna take one of the few things that science did for the good of people.
Condoms protect people. I'm sure the sales of condoms is staying pretty low.
Jesus Christ, Toby.
I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ, Toby. I mean, when you put it like
there's
that.
a lot of things that is out there
like,
that could be used and they be used.
Everybody, condoms. It's an L, bro. It's an L for me.
So,
nah, man, I understand. I was just thinking about this conversation the whole time. I was just like, damn, like.
How do you feel about say like prenuptial agreements? You or the woman, if either of you have, how do you feel about if she would want you to sign a prenuptial agreement?
She rich?
Yeah. It's quiet?
Nope. No. I'm playing. I just wanted to use that one. I was trying my best.
She got $15 million.
I'm going to be honest with you. Going into any situation, I tend to go. I've never dated someone with $15 million. Let's start there. That I know of.
Yeah.
I've never dated someone that rich that I know. I've dated people that are wealthy, but never rich that I can think of. And I've never gone in, like, even when they were up, I've never gone in thinking like, oh,
it's about to benefit you.
Oh, I don't think like that.
Yeah.
So for me,
I think as a man, it's not.
It's not. I could leave and leave all those riches. I think because again, we've never lived $15 million type lives. Maybe when you, like I've always said, like, I always thought Drake parties way too much for a man that's been doing it for so long on this level, but I've never done it on that level.
Yeah.
I don't know what that type of partying is like. Maybe.
And you also not doing Drake work.
Exactly. Maybe
he needs to party that hard.
Maybe partying when you can spend $20K is addictive, and I could never stop. So I don't know. But from what I know, as it stands on the levels I've done it with the few wealthy girls I have dated, it never affected me. Yeah. It never made me see them any differently. It never made me see me any differently. Even when I was benefiting from it, which has happened, where a woman was taking care of me.
So you find out the kid's not yours.
Uh-huh.
You live in California. You're entitled to some of that money that she got.
I'm taking it. I'm taking every cent. Yes. No, because now I'm mad. Because now I'm mad. No. I'm not gonna. Dudes act like nah. I'm getting
even when it's like reverse. As a dude, say you do have some kind of money. If you have a family with a woman, in that prenuptial agreement, could you at least leave her something to take care of them kids? Yep. Like, don't just be like, yo, you're walking away with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's Grimes. Like, to me, it's
that's
like,
wild Grimes.
You're not walking out with half, but I'm gonna give you.
Nah, you're not walking out with half.
You're not walking out with half, but I do feel like the concept of a prenup is. So this is what the person said to me that I was like, okay, this is what made me think. It's like the idea of marriage is that you're supposed to trust this person with your life, and now you guys are together forever, and there's no other option. If you do things like prenup or paternity test, it undermines the trust issue part of it. So it makes it as if, like, why are you married to begin with?
I think that is all a perspective.
It is a perspective, but it is a. I always like to think on what someone's saying. So if you're gonna say that we're one and we're all this, I think that is a little romantic for my tastes. But I would like to go into a marriage like that. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to go in. I didn't just sit there and go, I'm right. I know. I was like, nah, let me think about this. I would like to go into a marriage 100% trusting you. I would like to go into a marriage like thinking you're going to do right by me forever. And I just, as the jaded human that I am, I know you've been calling me Positive Reg, but I'm still regular. You know what I mean? I'm still regular. And as a regular man, I think of regular people, and regular people ain't shit.
You're not.
So
when it comes to the prenuptial, that's way more common. Like, we already see how this goes. People divorce, niggas get raped every day for their money.
Exactly.
But like I said, as a man, you should still be down. Like, don't just be like, "Oh, I'm kicking you to the streets."
Yeah, I'm not throwing you out.
If somebody even without all that document, you should be able to be like, I'm going to provide for my kids and their mother, who, if I can, you know?
Yeah. And the thing is, their mother, if they can't provide for themselves, that's the other part. Like, I can't imagine what you'd have to. Nah, I could think of a couple of things you could do that I would not want to give you that money. Outside of my kids. Not my kids, you. But I can't imagine what you would really, how much you'd have to do 100% for me to be like, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm going to, like, I remember when my mother was getting a divorce, she was on some, yo, if the court says I have to give him $5,000, I'll spend $10,000 not to give him the $5,000. I was like, God damn. But I mean, she went through a lot, so I did not understand it. I was like, I'm with you on that. But I remember going, did you hear that?
But I think that's usually where all of that comes from. What did this person put you through?
Bro.
What did you go through? If you had an actual decent marriage or something like that, I'm sure y'all could probably be like talk.
Yeah. You could be amicable. Yeah.
Sometime close to after the divorce, if y'all actually had beef during the process.
Yeah.
But if there was actual hardships through this to the point where y'all hate each other, nah. You gonna do everything to keep your money.
Bro, I was in a family court once, and I saw a guy. I heard it was so loud. He was yelling so loud at the wife and the judge, and the door was closed that everyone could hear it. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean that's what I gotta give? Are you fucking kidding me? You know what this big woman do? And she goes, sir, if you do not stop, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. It is Friday. You're gonna be in jail till Tuesday. Contempt of court. Do you understand? So now you have to apologize to me and her, and then you have to sign this paper. You know what he did?
Lock me up, throw away.
He looked at her and he dead said, let me think about it. This man was going to go to jail.
Yeah,
he
man.
was so mad.
He was tight.
And I'm like, yo, this is where love comes to die. This is terrible. I never want to come back to this place. I can see, and you could tell who was with who because they were in separate parts of the room. Like, they'd walk in, disperse. And everyone, when I saw that, she walked out swinging her sundress. He walked out, bro. He sat down. He just put his hand in his face. I'm just sitting there like, damn,
the sign of defeat.
Bro,
Nigga look defeated.
But when you sitting in jail with Bolo,
yo,
I mean, you're not gonna be no better off because when you get back out, you're gonna have to sign that paper anyway.
Hey, he'd rather take that L.
But I remember looking at him going, I've been that mad at a woman before.
He'd rather take that L.
I've been that mad. Where I'm looking at her like, ooh, death or apologize. What kind of death? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, that's hilarious.
That shit was wild, bro. And I remember seeing that and being like, yo, I never want to get to that place ever in life. But I will say, though, that in terms of the prenup thing, I mean, in terms of the paternity, yes. I will say that I have reconsidered after, like, the conversation. I have, like, been like, you know what? Like, I just feel like it's easier to do bad as people than good. It's always been the case. It's just easier to do. If there's a good thing you could do, it's easier to beat a child than it is to raise it.
Yeah.
You know, so I always hold people to the standard of because it's easier, that's probably what the fuck people are going to do by me. More than likely, you're going to do the wrong thing. And I've thought of that of all people. And I don't hold it against people like, oh, you're terrible people. I just go, I can't count on you to do right by me 100%. And that's all people. But then when you're deciding to marry someone, you should.
Yeah, I mean.
So my thing is, you should, but it's a slippery slope with that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just wish I could be, not less jaded, but I wish I could be less logical where I could just.
How about you live the life that you want? If you want to, live that way.
I mean,
at the end, to me, I don't really be having regrets. If I look like I got played, but I did what I wanted to do, hey, so be it. I got played. That's life. Niggas get played every day.
No,
like,
and I agree.
I play people sometimes. People go play me back. You know, like that's life.
But
I'm not gonna live my life in a worry of what might happen to me. Like,
but imagine
like,
there was
I might also get cancer one day. I'm not gonna live my life every day like, yo, cancer's coming. Like, like bad people get it, but you still gotta live your life how you want to live it. You know.
I mean, you know, the thing I was saying is, I agree with you, but it's like the problem with the reason why the paternity test was such an up in the air thing for me is because I don't have to get played on this one. This is one I could test for. But then I thought about it, and if I could test for every aspect where trust is considered,
I don't
know what I would do that.
I don't
exactly.
think people should
so
do that.
that was the back and forth with me. But yeah, I just like the fact of thinking like I'm just logical. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it's cool to be logical, but certain things is like, all right, logic is not the only factor in life. You know, it's one of them. It's one of it, but it's not the only thing that works in this world.
That's fair. It's one of my biggest ones,
You
though.
know?
Because I've noticed that when people don't move logically, I see where that goes too.
I
And
mean, yeah,
more times
but
than not.
there's a lot of times where you could just move with logic, and the other side is the emotional side that's missing could affect somebody. There's a lot of kids that don't get that, and they might need that. You know,
bro, that's what I'm having a problem with right now,
so,
man. Like I find I gotta.
You can't just be like every part of life is just.
You right, but I gotta find my inner heart light, because sometimes I just be like, I just be jaded as fuck, son. I be trying my best, but I be jaded as shit.
If you want something, be that.
All right, I see. Okay, Obi, that is the message of today's episode. If you want something, be that. Okay, be the change in the world you want to see.
As cliche as that sounds.
No, you're right though.